This video is about what to do before retirement. Some of these things are financial related because I am a financial coach, but other things are just things that you'll want to do. So they really apply to everyone that is planning to retire in the near future. Hi, I'm Camille Gaines here, and on my website, retirecertain.com, I write about and talk about investing and preparing for retirement alternative income streams. The very first thing to do for retirement is think about how you want to spend your life. It's amazing how few people actually sit down and do this. It's one of the first steps that I do with my financial coaching clients, and it's hard. It's hard to make yourself think about what it is you really want to do. Feelings come up of unworthiness, or I should be working, or oh, I shouldn't put myself first and think about what I want. I should put others first, and all these feelings come up. Really sit down and think about what it is that you want to do. Not what someone else wants you to do, maybe a family member or someone else, but what you want to do. And once you've done this, you'll have a much better, you'll have more good feelings about retiring, but you'll also be able to plan better so that you can actually do those things that you want to do during retirement. Plus, when you have this information, you can estimate about how much these things will cost, this changed lifestyle, and you can adjust your current spending plan to reflect those expenses. Maybe you'll spend less. You'll find out that, wow, what I really want to do is take a nap on the porch swing every afternoon. I kind of enjoy that myself. Or I want to start snow skiing, which costs a lot of money. Or I want to make trips abroad, which costs, quite a lot of money. So think about what it is you really want to do. Look at the cost of that, estimate the cost of that, and adjust your spending plan, because your spending plan is what you're planning for in retirement so that you can sustain that current standard of living that you have. But no, you may want to do things differently when you have the time. So before retirement, make sure that you think about the life that you want to live and what you really want to do, how you want to spend your time. The next thing to do before retirement is think about how you will really feel in retirement. Do this little exercise with me. Just go ahead right now and do it, unless you're driving. Close your eyes and just think about you're waking up one morning and there's no alarm clock going off. You can do whatever you want for the day. How does that feel? So many of us don't think about how that's going to feel, and then it's there, and maybe it doesn't feel as great as you thought it would feel, or it feels really, really great. So just take a second to do that little exercise. If you're older and you've retired, you may feel a little sad about that, a little sad about having left your career. You may feel like you're never going to work again if that's your choice. But we can also know that it's an option to go back to work part-time. You've seen my other videos, there's so many different ways you can contribute in a way that will pay you. So think about, really take a minute to close your eyes and think about how it will feel when you wake up that first day, that first week, that first month, when you don't have something pressing that you have to do. You don't have to rush out the door or rush to your office if you're working from home to get done what you need to do. There are different phases that are related to retirement that I won't go into in this video, but know that there can come a phase when it doesn't feel so great to be retired anymore. So what I want you to do before you retire is make a list of things that you have always wanted to do, but you just haven't had the time to do them. Sort of a bucket list. I love having such a list. It inspires me. It makes me go, I think I'd really like to do that one day. And then when I do it, I can check it off my list. So we can easily get caught up in small thinking and limited thinking and thinking we can't afford it, we can't do this, we can't do that, because that's sort of how we humans are wired. Make that list of things you've always wanted to do, but you haven't had time. And when you do get down, when you're retired, take out that list and pick at least one thing off of that list and either do it that day or schedule it within a few days for you to do. The next thing to do before retirement is start thinking about friendships. Most of our friends, or many of our friends, come from work relationships. We have things in common with those people. We see them all the time, and we can't help but get to know them if we interact with them day in, day out. So start thinking about how you'll make friends once you're retired, how you'll meet new people. And some great ways to do that are through church organizations, they're through local meetups. Look online. One recent example I saw was REI. The store REI has outings that are organized, and you can sign up for them and go do these activities. I'm sure that there are other retirees that are doing these activities, and there are many, many organizations online that offer things for people to do together. And when you do these things with other people, there's that commonality there, and that you both like this one thing. Like the thing I was looking to do with REI was going kayaking in Wimberley. And anyone else that likes going kayaking in Wimberley, well, I'm going to have that in common with them. So think of ways that you can go ahead and meet other people and kind of start tiptoeing into that before you retire, so that you have that to fall back on when you realize, wow, I kind of miss connecting with these people, because there's a good chance that will happen. You may have seen my video where I talk about I actually retired around the age of 30. Well, I retired from corporate in my mid-20s so I could become my own boss in real estate. But then I ended up retiring and moving overseas when I was around 30. And I was in a beautiful place. I was on the island of Bermuda, but I was so unhappy because I missed the camaraderie and that commonality of the people that I was working with before I left. And this can really shock us. It was really, really real. And I was really, really sad about that, even though I was living in this paradise and financially everything was wonderful and I had a wonderful husband, but I missed that work life. I missed those connections, and I missed seeing those people and having those stimulating interactions every day. So this is something I know about, even though I didn't go the conventional path to retirement. The next thing to do before retirement is give your financial plan, your retirement plan, a really good once over if you haven't already. Things change in the financial world, in the investing world. So a lot of people before retirement, they set that plan years before, and they don't review it shortly before retirement to see if it still makes sense. So give your retirement plan, as far as your finances, a once over. We've talked about things that are not financial related, but this is really important because you want to be able to support yourself for life and live that lifestyle that you really, really want. The next thing to do before retirement is to think about what you're going to say when people ask you what you do. When you say that you're retired, it can either feel, really good, it's kind of cool, but it can also feel like, gosh, I'm no longer contributing to society. You can feel less valued as a person. And so think about what you're going to say when someone asks you, what do you do? What do you do with your life? That's a big question. And think about how you want to answer that before your big retirement day comes. The next thing to do before retirement is go ahead and plan that long delay trip that you've always wanted to make. We all have them. We all have that 1 or 2, 3, 4 places we really, really want to go. But usually there's one we really want to go to more than anything else. We want to do that next. Go ahead and plan it. Plan it for after retirement when you have all that time to make the trip. And you can probably do it for much cheaper the further ahead that you do it. And you'll have that on your mind. You'll have that as something to look forward to after you step into retirement, after you have the newness of retirement has worn off, and maybe you're getting a little bit bored, feeling a little bit anxious about your finances. That often happens. Go ahead and plan that trip and give yourself something to look forward to. And remember, retire certain.